Every 10 years, without fail, the cherry blossoms in absolute silence. No wind, no birdsong, no buzzing of bees, just an unnatural stillness, broken only by the soft sound of falling petals that no one could ever quite hear. Locals once whispered about it with a mix of awe and dread, calling it the silent spring. But over the years, the stories faded, the village emptied, and the event became more legend than memory. Lena Mitchell, a 24-year-old botanist, had always been obsessed with rare flora and folklore. She'd stumbled upon an old newspaper clipping in the university archives. Elmridge blossoms, beauty or bad omen. The article spoke of trees that only bloomed every 10 years, always during the first full moon of spring, and how after every bloom, someone in the village would vanish. Fascinated, Lena decided she had to witness it herself. When she arrived, Elmridge was quiet. Too quiet. Her boots crunched on gravel as she passed by boarded windows and weathered doorways, but no one greeted her. The streets were choked with petals, soft and thick like snow, and every surface seemed to wear a pink veil. Trees arched above like cathedral ceilings, their blossoms blooming in ghostly silence. The air felt heavy, not humid, but aware, as though the village was watching her. Lena found shelter in an old stone cottage at the edge of the village. It was untouched by time. Dishes still in the sink, an old clock ticking on the wall, though no batteries were inside. A faded photograph sat on the mantel. A family of 3, mother, father, and a small girl. None of them smiled. In the background, the cherry trees bloomed. She tried to sleep that night, but the silence was unbearable. There were no crickets, no wind, just the sensation of something moving just beyond her perception. At one point, she thought she heard footsteps upstairs, slow, dragging steps. But when she checked, the floorboards were clean and undisturbed, coated in a thin layer of untouched petals. The next morning, Lena began documenting the trees. She noticed something strange right away. The trees closest to the center of the village had no bark carvings, no signs of age or decay. They were pristine, perfect, too perfect. The blossoms glowed faintly under the morning sun, and when she reached out to touch one, it crumbled like ash. She walked deeper into the grove and stumbled across a peculiar sight. A ring of blossoms arranged in a circle, and at its center, a small stone altar. Moss grew around it, but the altar itself was clean, untouched. Symbols were etched into its sides, old runes she couldn't decipher. And then she saw it, carved into the base of the altar, in English. One for the bloom, one for the roots, one for the silence. Lena's breath caught. She turned sharply at the sound of a twig snapping, but again, nothing. Only the trees, only the blossoms. That night, the dreams began. She dreamt of a girl in a white dress, her hair made of petals, her face obscured by shadows. The girl stood among the trees, reaching out to Lena. Her fingers were unnaturally long, bark-skinned, and where her eyes should have been, only swirling pits of black. Lena woke up choking on petals. She coughed and gasped, spitting out soft pink blossoms from her throat, her mouth, her nose. They were inside her. How? Her eyes darted to the window. It was shut tight. She looked down at her hands, trembling. Were they always this pale? The following day, the blossoms began to fall faster. The air thickened. Time felt wrong. Her phone stopped working. Her compass spun endlessly. Even her journal entries, written the night before, appeared smudged and rewritten in someone else's handwriting. She tried to leave. Every path she took led her back to the same place, the circle of trees and the stone altar. No matter how far she walked, she returned to that spot. The third time it happened, she collapsed to her knees, screaming. From the trees, something laughed. It was a dry, creaking laugh, the sound of trees swaying in a wind that didn't exist. A voice followed, whispering in dozens of tones. You came to see us. You stayed to feed us. The petals began to fall in spirals now, forming shapes in the air. Faces. Faces of the missing. Faces from the photograph in the cottage. All expressionless. All watching. Lena ran. She made it back to the cottage by twilight, locking the doors behind her, though she knew it was useless. That night, the house pulsed with a heartbeat she couldn't place. Walls shifted slightly, floors bent with each step. The portrait on the mantel had changed. Now there were 4 people. She was the 4th. The girl from her dreams appeared again, closer this time. Lena saw her face, and it was her own face, pale, lifeless, eyes black as soil. Lena screamed. No one heard her, because in Elmridge, silence is the loudest scream. By morning, the blossoms had stopped falling. Roots, one for the silence, and now it waits for the next spring.